It's just like a big play date for anyone to come and bring their kids. They already have toys set up there for all of the kids to use. It's just a good way for Ellie to get socialized a little bit, although she does seem still pretty shy around kids, especially when it comes to toys. I think she's still in that stage where she's a little like possessive and she's not sure how to interact with other kids. She's not really sure how to go about playing with other kids when they're communal toys. Especially like some of the toys that are at the library are kind of like toys that you would play independently, and then there's other toys that you could play with other kids, but she's just too shy to like ask and like introduce herself or ask if she can play with them. She most of the time will need the other person to take the initiative, and like if they start talking to her, then she'll warm up to them, but she kind of will just like stare at a kid until they like respond to her. But she did pretty good. She mostly just played by herself today. They have a lot of different setups. They had like a bunch of dinosaurs to play with, some like big foam blocks. They also had like a marble run situation, or they weren't with marbles because I think marbles are probably too small, but they were kind of like balls that had like little rattles in them. So, and it goes down like the little like marble run. And then, yeah, a couple of other like pretend playthings like tools and like gardening stuff. She really didn't want to leave when it was time to clean up. She was saying that like she was still wanting to play. So I'll definitely be taking her again next week. She had been asking me for the past couple of weeks to go and take her to play and learn, but it just like never worked out. And I think I was still a little bit hesitant about having her play with other kids in a communal space like the library when it's just about to be like flu season. I feel like everyone's getting sick right now, and since we have Wolfie, I really don't want to risk it. But he just got his RSV shot, so I feel a little bit better about having him around other people. And like obviously we were using hand sanitizer before and after, so, and no one that was there seemed sick, so that was good too. And then also there really weren't that many kids there. I think there was probably like around 11 kids or 12 kids, and some of them were like babies. It was a really good time out, a good time to be like out of the house. Afterwards, I had a book that I needed to pick up that was on hold, but Ellie wanted to go and pick out a book too. Or well, she said she wanted to pick out a book, but she doesn't really want to pick out a book. She just wants to like play in the children's books area. But something that the library does that's in the children's area is they do a scavenger hunt, and Ellie loves scavenger hunt. This week's theme was candy, so they just have like a couple of like cutouts of little candy icons, and they just like put them all around the library, and you have your little list of the ones that you need to find, and then after you find them all, you turn it in and you get a prize. There's quite a few that are on it. We've done one of the scavenger hunts before, but we never finish it because there's just so many items, and Ellie can never get them all within a good amount of time. Like we were kind of already leading up to lunchtime, and Wolfie was getting fussy. So after finding maybe like 5 of the icons, I was like, we gotta go because your brother is like getting too fussy. And I felt bad because there's a lot of people in the library, and a crying baby in the library is not fun. And I still needed to pick up my book. So the librarian that was in the children's section was kind enough to ask Ellie how many she had. And she said, how about you pick out a sticker and you can come back and find the rest of them. So she already let her have her prize, which Ellie was happy about. And I was able to get her out of the children's area. So I was really thankful for that because I think she understood. She could see that I was struggling, so she was like, let's get you out of here. So yeah, we finished up the scavenger hunt, and then I picked up my 2 books from the library. I had thought that I only had 1 book on hold, which was Summer's End, which is the final book that's in the Shady Hollow mystery series, or I don't know if it's the final book. I'm really curious to know if they're gonna have another one after this, but this is the most recent one that has come out. I think it came out this year. I really love the covers of these books. I think the illustrations are so pretty. So you can see that's Vera Vixen. That's her best friend Eleanor, or Lenore. It's not Eleanor, it's Lenore. She's a raven. And then this girl here, I have a feeling that is, oh gosh, what's her name? Something Chitters. That's like the last name. And then there's an iguana here that I have never been introduced to. And then a raccoon at the top, and I think that one is Lefty. I have another map here. This is Summer's End and Environs. So this appears to be a completely different area. This is not Shady Hollow. But yeah, so I'm excited to get started with that. And then I also had Emily Wild's map of the Otherlands ready to be picked up as well, which I was surprised by because I feel like everybody's just been, you know, requesting this book. So I was shocked that I was able to get it again. I did check this out before, but I just did not finish it in time. I think I read like 14 pages of it or something like that. I can't really remember too much about the first book. I know that she was working on her encyclopedia and then she got abducted into the Fae realm. And then Wendell was able to like get her out because he is actually also a Fae. It was so long ago. I think there was a point where she was in the Fae realm and then she wasn't. And he told her like, oh, I was able to get you out, but I think there's still might be a little bit of a possibility that the Fae might come back after her. Emily Wild is a genius scholar of fairy folklore who just wrote the world's first comprehensive encyclopedia of fairies. She's learned many of the secrets of the hidden ones on her adventures, and also from her fellow scholar and former rival Wendell Bamblebee. He's an excelled fairy king on the run from his murderous mother and in search of a door back to his realm. Oh, okay, yes, I remember now. And despite Emily's feelings for Bamblebee, she's not ready to accept his proposal of marriage. Oh, right, he proposed to her at the end of the first one. Not very, like, grand of a proposal, but it was still a proposal. Loving one of the fair folk comes with secrets and dangers. She also has a new project to focus on, a map of the realms of fairy. While she is preparing her research, Bamblebee lands her in trouble yet again when assassins sent by his mother invade Cambridge. Now Bamblebee and Emily are on another adventure, this time to the picturesque Austrian Alps, where Emily believes they will find the door to Bamblebee's realm and the key to freeing him from his family's dark plans. But with new relationships for the prickly Emily to navigate and dangerous folk lurking in every forest and hollow, she must unravel the mysterious workings of fairy doors and of her own heart. Okay, I do remember the end of the first book, not really enjoying it as much because it just felt really slow, but it only felt slow because she was in the fairy realm and it's written in the form of like her journals. So she herself is kind of like all foggy. So reading it just felt like, I don't really know what's going on. It kind of just seems like, you know, time is just like passing and nothing is really happening. But I think it was probably meant to come off that way because that is how she was experiencing it. I'm interested to see if this story has a little bit more action in it so that it doesn't feel too... Sometimes cozy books can feel just a little bit too slow. And I like when there's just the slightest bit of an extra something. And I feel like that's why with the Shady Hollow series, why I enjoy it so much is there's a mystery. So there's something to solve. There's something to kind of like get your mind working, like, you know, get the gears turning. And whenever I'm reading a Shady Hollows book, I'm always like, okay, who's the suspect? Everybody's a suspect. What's going on? You know, and I'm always trying to pick apart and figure out like who is like the culprit. But yeah, obviously this is just book 2. I'm curious to know if there's going to be a third one too. Let me look in the back to see. Oh yeah, the story of Emily Wild and Wendell Bamblebee will continue in book 3. So that's exciting. Honestly, I feel like both of these books, both of these series, I don't know why I'm getting them from the library. I feel like I should be purchasing them so that I can annotate them and really like enjoy them. Like especially this, I just feel like, you know, this should definitely be part of like my personal library. But you know what? I'm saving a lot of money here because this was $28 cover price and this is $17 cover price. And normally when I check out books from the library, they'll give me a little like receipt, but I didn't ask for this time. But normally the receipt will tell me how much money I've saved from my trip at the library and then overall how much I've saved throughout the year. And then also I think how much I've saved since having my library card. And I know for sure I've already saved like over $1,000 using my library card, which is great. But I also feel like when I discover a book that I really, really enjoy and it's a series, I'll keep, you know, requesting the following books from the library, but then I'm like, oh, I wish that I had it myself so that I could annotate it and take my time with it, write in the book and highlight it. Like whenever I see people annotating, I'm always like, oh, I'm so jealous because it looks like it would be so fun to pick apart your book and like, you know, really put all of like your thoughts in it as you're reading it. Sometimes when I'm reading books that I get from the library, I don't have the chance to do that. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'll talk to you later. Good evening. It is so much later in the day. I guess we were just having one of those days where I could not put the baby down without him being super upset. He wasn't going to be calm unless I was feeding him or I was holding him. And it's not like I can just hold him and like sit down either. It was like I had to hold him and walk around and rock him a bunch in order for him to fall asleep. And then when he finally fell asleep, I was able to sit down, but like any sudden movements after that would wake him up. So, and normally he is pretty good at sleeping through noise, and you know, sometimes Ellie will come up to him and like want to like hug him and kiss him while he's asleep, and usually he'll be able to sleep through that, but this time around he was not having any of it. So yeah, the afternoon kind of got away from us, and I think also just like from taking Ellie out earlier this morning, it definitely wore me out. But Matt made some homemade crunch wraps, which are so good. We've been doing a really good job of not eating out. That's like one of our goals, our like goals together as like our family goal is to eat out less. And we've been doing really good. I think we've only gone out to eat one time this whole week, and it was on, I think it was on Monday, and we went to In-N-Out. I don't even really consider that eating out because we deserved it. So Matt made crunch wraps for dinner, and then we watched Harry Potter number 3, which was nice. I let Ellie stay up a little bit longer than normal so that she can finish the movie, and yeah, and then currently I'm working on a puzzle right now. It's a 2,000 piece puzzle, a Disney puzzle. I've done a 2,000 piece puzzle before. It was a Spider-Man one. I just started this puzzle. I think I started it last week, and then I put it away for a while, and then I brought it back out again because I felt like I really wanted to work on it. And this one's nice too because it has like a bunch of different characters, so it makes it a little easier to identify where each piece goes. The only difficult part of this whole puzzle is the edges, because the puzzle is like it's in a picture frame, and the picture frame has like a repeating pattern, so it's super hard to tell like where each piece goes and like where it connects to. So I'm just gonna save that for the very end because it's pretty much going to have to be like a process of elimination. I'm just gonna have to literally like try every single piece next to each other in order for me to complete it. So right now I'm just doing all the characters and just grouping them into like their sections into like each specific scene. But I'm really enjoying this puzzle. Right now I'm gonna try and edit the rest of this video so that I can have it up for you guys tomorrow. But yeah, it was I feel like today was a really exhausting day for me. I'm glad that I did get to go out and that Ellie got to, you know, do something fun today. I think tomorrow we're gonna try to go to the farmer's market. I didn't realize that they had a fall market. I thought that they were pretty much done after the summer market. So I wanna check it out and see if there's good produce right now, because during the summer, we went a couple of times and they didn't really have a lot of produce vendors. They had mostly like food vendors and then like small businesses. Currently 8:37, so I'm gonna try and just edit the rest of this vlog so that I can be finished with it, and then probably end off the night doing a little bit more of my puzzle and then reading. Usually on the weekends I stay up really late. Oh, actually, I stay up pretty late pretty much every night. I think I go to sleep at like midnight pretty much every night. But I want to try and get a couple of things done here. So yeah, sorry it wasn't the most interesting vlog today, but like I said, it kind of was really exhausting for me tending to the baby because he was just not happy. The baby has to come first. I have to tend to him first. And of course, I'm not trying to whip out my camera when he is screaming his head off, because that just wouldn't sit right with me. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow will be a better day and we'll do more fun stuff. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.